Okay. What let's do is let's actually kind of see if I'd like you to kind of talk a little bit, and if you're okay with it, let's kind of roll back through and do a light review of what we covered on day one. We were in this site, and we were adding this, and like just, it doesn't have to be in depth, but just kind of, if you can, I would like you to talk a little bit. I've been jawing too much. Okay, so I'm going to actually log out so that you can actually log back in under whichever site you want it to do, and I'll help you. But we'll kind of roll through this, and I just want another voice to kind of be saying some stuff. And I want my cookie.
That's right. It's that time in the afternoon. So let's see. The first day we were actually. Oh, is it guess 1, 2, 3, 4?
It's with a capital G.
With a capital G. Okay. All right, so the first day we wanted to do a lot with operations. So we wanted to sell some things out of our general inventory pool. We brought some stuff in. We basically created a little system. Is mainly what we did the first day is we worked with operations. So in here we did some climbing gear. I'm actually going to just pop into some. I'll go look at the harnesses. So we added some harnesses from Black Diamond. We added a number of vendors. So we had Petzl, and we had a bunch of vendors, and we can look at their recent POs. We brought in a lot of rock climbing gear. That's why everything up here says climber as well, climber. We added some pictures to Tony's, and so basically we did a lot with operations tracking, and we sold items. We brought inventory in. We detailed our inventory out. So our inventory is items, and this is a play site, so there are tons of items. And anyhow, so we did a lot of things with that. We played mainly in this area.
Why don't you go to the PO homepage for just a second? These are things that we brought in just in the last couple of days.
That's perfect. Yeah, so I think first of all we played around with a little bit of candy, but then we set up a climbing shop, and we brought in a bunch of inventory on our climbing shop, and then we sold a lot of that as well. So we sold climbing in memberships, and we set up a recipe build, and we did various other things here in this site the first day, basically down on this bottom end, just operations and inventory tracking.
Cool.
Anything else you want to cover?
We used a little bit of custom flex grid to create a link between customers and the climbs that they did. Like we were just having fun.
We did. So these are climbs in Logan Canyon. I just put Logan in this. So these are all in Logan Canyon, and these are the names of the climbs. So that was the custom flex grid that we created that day. We wanted to track climbers, and we had a climbing shop, and we wanted them to be able to put in which climbs they did, and the rating, and any notes they had about it, and so we created our own custom flex grid piece for that.
Awesome. Okay, then we kind of, after leaving this one, we kind of went into the seamstress area.
Yes.
So
we'll slide out. We'll go into Adilas demo.
And you're welcome to, like, if you guys want to use Adilas demo or the guest 1, 2, 3, 4, you're welcome to use those sites and play in there at any point in time. We just ask you to keep it relative to the topic at hand. So if you're in the AAA tree cutting site, please don't put something that's completely random in there. Make it associated to that type of company. But you're welcome to get in there and play.
Yeah, so this was mainly day 2. We spent a lot of time in the seamstress, and today actually. But with the seamstress, we ended up spending a lot of time, maybe I'll just use this, hearing customers. And that was our focus for the day, was customers, flex grid, and elements of time. So we actually did a lot of combinations between these. We tracked some custom things for our flex grid. Since we are a seamstress shop, we tracked measurements, but you could customize that as all you wanted. We also tracked our classes through this, so we wanted a certain number of class seats to be filled. we incorporated that with elements of time, and we invoice from our elements of time. We billed for time. We created invoices, and we tied together elements of time to our invoices and to our customers. So we played a lot with those yesterday. Do we have a?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. So we did a lot of those kind of things. We can even go in and look at some of the time that we set up. I think we had so here's our class that we set up. This was a sewing class. And this is how we kind of tied it together. So we flex grid tied this, and we put a paid status. But these are the invoices that they are logged on. So this shows, yes, she paid, yes. And in fact, Cheryl now, I think if we went in, you could see that payment has been applied. So we could go and edit that, actually, that flex grid, and say that, well, I guess we're still holding it for tomorrow.
That's okay. Go ahead and go back, and you can just flip it to paid, just to kind of show them.
Yeah, so we'll just edit that, and Cheryl's in here. Let's see where we've got it.
All the way at the bottom.
That's right. So needs payment. She's paid. So we have her paid, and we'll just edit that tie-in. So now everyone for our class is paid, and we just modified that and flipped it to paid. So this was our class. We did a lot of different things. We billed for time, I think even on time 4. So this was Abraham's custom piece, and here's some sub times that we worked on. So we did a lot with that, or we could even go customer, we could look at Brandon, we could look at his log. So he has additional contacts, but we also logged things that we did for Brandon. So we put in some decent log notes there. That was actually just copying and pasting. Someone wanted to see an email demo. But yeah, we have his measurements, that's FlexGrid. So we just spent a lot of time with elements of time and customers and FlexGrid yesterday.
Awesome. Cool.
So today we were back in this site, but we spent a lot of our time in this upper area. So we did a few sales, and we took things from our accounts receivable customer waiting room, and we made some deposits. We looked at our bank. We ended up coming back in after lunch, and we did some expense receipts, and we even tied some of these together just with some sub-FlexGrid tie-in pieces. We were in the balance sheet, in the P&L, and we just kind of watched how to even bring inventory in, and then how to pay for purchase orders for expense receipts. We went into payroll and expensed some things for users. So we spent a lot of time in this upper area today from things that had filtered up that we had done in our operations.
That's a great review, Shannon. That's good. That's good. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions or anything? I don't, technically we said that we would be here till 5 o'clock. I was just kind of curious if anybody had any questions, or I don't want to be super hardcore on that. Basically, I'll keep talking and talking and talking, but if you have questions, I would love to field them or do whatever. We're here to help. We are here to help, okay? Once again, my name is Brandon Moore, and I am the lead developer on this project. There are many who stand behind the scenes who push and push and push, and who have dreamed and dreamed and dreamed, and we're just trying to help them all get things put together and kind of play that game. So I would give a huge credit to a guy by the name of Steve Birkencotter. He's the one who taught me what I know. So it's there is somewhat of a hidden, silent soul out there, but he was the master dreamer of the Adilas program. So his name is Steve Birkencotter, and I would pay a huge tribute to him. I have never worked with a harder worker. He can work circles around me. It's amazing. And literally, I was telling you, at least as part of the history, I can't remember what I tell you during lunch and what I tell you during class, but as part of the history, he actually took me and another guy, and he's like, okay, here's what happens, and basic accounting lessons. I graduated in business school, so I had taken some accounting classes, but it was Steve who was like, here's what happens, and here's what happens next. We had no way of tracking it because the system wasn't built, but he literally created a road and said, can you build it to here? And we figured out how to kind of create those little gaps and bridges. and we build it there, and then we leave it, okay? We let it run for a while. And eventually what happens is you end up getting pain somewhere. This may sound random, but pain is actually your indicator of what needs to happen or change or what happens. And so you build it till you get pain, and then you just let it run for a while until something becomes painful, till other things become painful, and then you slowly build that out. Like, you don't want to just blast this whole thing out. You definitely want to kind of keep incrementing it forward just little by little. Good stuff, good stuff. Chris, any closing words or anything? Okay, cool. Is there anything?
There's none.
Okay, great. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day and go ahead and wrap up. And thank you very much for coming to training. And I wanted to give a good kudo to Joe. I saw you in there every day. I saw James in there every day. I saw Santiago in there at least a couple times, popping in and out. And good stuff. There was many others, and I apologize. I'm not trying to say yays or nays, but I just wanted to thank you guys, and we'll do some more for next month. We're probably going to be in Colorado. It'll be fun. Thanks a bunch.
Joe has a super quick question.
Yeah.
He
Sure.
said he's always been curious, how many Adilas customers are there?
How many Adilas customers? That is technically our information, but I'll just tell you right now, there are over 100 and less than 200, okay? And what that is those are physical companies that are paying. There are technically hundreds and hundreds of corporations that are out there. We actually have people who are not paying at all that we have pulled in under our wing, and they are running and testing different things. Like, that is an undisclosed number right now, okay? I'll tell you right now it's between 100 and 200, okay? Joe, good comment. What we're trying to do is we haven't done any marketing at all yet. And so what we're trying to do is ramp up so that we can actually do this and market it to the world and let them know what we have. So good comment, Joe. And by the way, hopefully you heard me give you a good kudo. You had some great information, and thank you so much. And even last training you were with us. I think Shannon and I were talking about this on our way home. We're like, Joe is going to go far. He's willing to put in some time for training. That's huge. Joe, you get my full kudos, and may the force be with you.
He said, understand. We feel fortunate to be part of the ramping up. Thanks.
Awesome. Yep, things are ramping up. We are making progress, and keep feeding us the ideas. 50% of what you saw over the last couple of days came from you guys, users, and what they want and what they need. And you could literally, on any of these maps, if you were to say, what's the history behind statements, I could say, okay, this particular customer had this and this and this happening, and they needed to go charge for this, okay? Like, I could literally almost point you to people who needed these pieces. And so we just keep building and building, and that's the way it works. So, awesome. Any other questions? Thanks for putting up with my rough voice and allergies, but it's all good. Alrighty, cool. We'll go ahead and sign off. Thanks, guys.